Good morning traders, Alex here. Just going to kick off from where we left off yesterday in assessing some of these levels we discussed. In the euro, price drifted down yesterday back in towards this trend support that we highlighted, where we have just seen a touch of bullish evidence here that this level is going to hold potentially, and it will be interesting. I think it's more interesting how we close the day. I wouldn't expect too many fireworks in the euro ahead of Thursday's ECB meeting, which we've put together a piece which will be released tomorrow about the potential outcomes. And yeah, where we close the day is important, but we are just finding a touch of support here today. Kind of range bound trade, not really anything too interesting. What's more interesting is cable, which continues its downward trend. We're down through this trend line now. We've got a nice series of lower highs and lower lows here. In this morning's trade, we held resistance at yesterday's low. A nice touch of bearish evidence here, ready for the push down through new lower lows here, down through the S1 on the day. We're just continuing here. I think cable, I would have thought, just looking at the daily charts, that there's a couple of interesting areas of support coming up. First one being this low here from the 24th of August around the 30.50 mark, and actually below that more major support level coming in around the 30 handle, which was an important support point from back in early August. I would expect that to get tested, to be honest, with the Brexit comments that we discussed yesterday and the Brexit developments that happened over the weekend, and cable just coming under some pressure here, which means that our Euro GBP trade is doing well. You know, another follow through today, up through new higher highs. We spoke about this yesterday, buying dips in this trend, just, you know, buying dips off of major support. You know, we had our first sort of test here. We broke up through new higher highs. We pulled back into this level that we mentioned yesterday, and now we're just ripping up again through the 9,000 mark, and we're just extending on the upside up towards that daily R2 level. And all the time these Brexit developments, all the time there's no positive Brexit developments, so I'd expect this trend to continue. Strategy being just to buy dips in this sort of short-term trend. Major resistance, technical resistance coming up here around the August highs that we mentioned here. The trade being holding support off of these highs. So if price then pulls back towards this sort of 900 mark, where we have big support along this sort of horizontal area here, be interesting to see what happens around this area should price pull back again. And even below that, you know, I'd be long off of this kind of area again. Line in the sand would be this price here, this sort of 89.70 mark. I would not, of course, rule out another test of this green area here, as we mentioned yesterday, but the price really starting to accelerate on the upside there. Let's move over to gold, which was another market that we covered on Monday. Just coming under some pressure here, down in towards this key area of support. This trend line here now looks to be sort of broken. The daily chart trend support seems to be broken, but we're coming into a huge area of support here. I'll just move this rectangle along a bit, and it'd be super interesting. You can see how key this area was. Bullish above, bearish below. You know, if we get some bullish evidence here, could potentially be worth the long, back up towards, you know, 1960, where these trend lines come in. And obviously if this price area here breaks on the downside, I would expect, imagine how many stop losses are below this area. Long stop losses, and if this area breaks with confirmation, I would expect a run down towards that August low back here around that sort of 1860 mark. Those are the chart ideas I'd like to post for the day. If there's any questions, please reach out to me in the chat. Otherwise, I hope you have a good trading day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thanks.